Hello folks, welcome back to Farming Simulator 19. This is the Peace River map, and as always it starts us in one of the homes on the map. I think this is a different one from where we were last time. Before I do too much in here, I'm going to set my little timer so I know when the time is up, when the jig is up. Got this timer from a dear friend. I enjoy using it when I can. You can hear it ticking. As long as it doesn't scare the daylights out of me when it goes off. Peace River map was made by Camille Mapping. I'm sorry if I'm not saying that correctly. But it's a large, and kind of as we mentioned last time, I believe it's a 25x map. And really, we don't see the whole thing. I don't know if it's easier to see here. Yeah. When you look at it in this perspective, you can see kind of the upper part of the square that would make up all 25 X's. So really, maybe by the time you pull off what would ordinarily be up here, it's not much more an area than a 16X map. But it shows the potential. I think there's some undeveloped area up here, and shoot, I don't know, maybe the mapper simply got tired of working on it and this was all they could do. But there is area they could have even made it larger. So this actually is maybe a good way to show the farmland that we own on here. You can see kind of the blocks of land, and I've kind of been in the process of planting, and I think I finally have planting done. I think in the last well, maybe I should get my trucks going before I talk it through. I use, I'll just get him going. I use auto drive on here extensively. It's a huge map. It has been very helpful. And right now, I mean, I'm hauling to market dry corn. And I think this is a time of year. If I come in here to Seasons Mod, go to, if I can find dry corn. There it is. It's coming up to a higher area of the year. I'm pretty sure if I was patient, I could wait till the winter months and maybe take the dry corn in then. Trouble is, I was making the dry corn here. I installed a mod and took all the wet corn, ran it through the dryer. But this is good enough, and as you'll see, we have plenty of money. It it's really not that hard to make money at this game, and once you get your initial debts paid off, I think as we all know, it's pretty easy. But I figure I would try to sell it here. No sense getting greedy, trying to wait till it hits the top bar. I'll sell it here because who knows what the impact will be. It may, I think when you sell it, the game algorithms change the prices over time, so since the bias is upward, I figure I'll sell into a rising market versus selling at the top. That's just kind of my 2 cents. And, well, let me get rid of my... Yeah, I've got all these routes. He's empty. He's heading back to the farm. Maybe one other thing is I come in here to see... Yeah, it's this one here. Yeah, there's a tiny dab of wheat. Wasn't even a truckload, so I didn't bother cleaning it out. There's still canola to market, and I think we're kind of at the low point for canola, so it's going to be a little bit before I send that in. There's a lot there, and that's pretty much the only commodity I have left, other than dry corn. We still have 465 tons. And I'm not sure. I got a mod in here that has bushels and that kind of thing. And I know the main game measures things in terms of liters. I don't know how all that works. All I know, hopefully it works well. I mean, all I know is I got 465 tons of dry corn and I'm trying to make some money on it. So I have 2 trucks doing the hauling, and since I only opened this up just now, I'll have to go see kind of where the other one is and get it woke up. As you can see, we're kind of coming through a forest here as he's crossed the Peace River, kind of down in the canyon, and we're going to be heading to home here. Oh, actually, I think the other one's ahead of him, not this fella. Yeah, we're done planting. I got to kind of cycle through my equipment. I'll come back to him later. Here's the other one. He actually was a little bit ahead on his way back to storage. And yeah, the other fellow's going to just have to wait. If he doesn't rear end him. Oh, there we go. Yeah, the nice thing, and I don't know that you could do this with course play. The nice thing with this auto drive, and setting up these rodent networks, you can have multiple vehicles on there, and they seem to play nice together. It seems like when course play, if we would try to do all this by course play, I think the results are a little more mixed. And I know, kind of as I've talked before, I don't think you can even do that anymore in Farm Sim 22. It's pretty limited, the options you have for course play. And probably for good reason. I think Auto Drive is quite a bit more versatile as a mod. And I wish he would take that corner a little bit faster to get a move on, but he isn't. So, yeah, all these intricate networks that you can create with this, you got to make sure all those little arrows are pointed the right way, because if they aren't, you're going to pay for it. But right now, let's see if we can see it. Oh, but it's probably easier to go to the escape menu. Here's our home base over here, and he's picking up dry corn. And they'll come back out through here. They'll go the same way back up here. And then clear out to the road, which I believe here, the main highway. And then they'll take a route. This is kind of down through that forest that they were in a little bit ago. And they're hauling it. Do I have the whole map? I think I do on here. Is it this over here they're hauling to? The pool silo. Well, maybe I'm off. Sorry, I was coming down to here. Maybe the main road is actually down here and sneaks up along this edge and then comes over here. It doesn't look very far on the map, but it's a long ways over there. And in terms of real time, I don't know if it'll tell me what the distance is, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was at least 15 minutes round trip to go all the way over there. I should get rid of this. I got crossing paths all over, and it takes quite a while to set all these up, but the reward comes, using it. It just becomes like your right arm. And I know some people that it would prefer to do all their own driving, and if you enjoy trucking, hey, more power to you. But I would much rather do farming activity, so a lot of times this stuff here I kind of just farm out. Not to just be punny. And you know something? I'm not sure why we don't see some particle animation here. Yeah, there's apparently a stream of dry corn coming out of that there auger, and you don't see anything coming down. So might have to take a look at that at some point and see kind of how the dry corn mod is installed, and see if maybe there's something that could be done to add the textures coming out of here. And you'll notice, yeah, he's going to need some repairs pretty soon. The fuel's halfway. I just love it. I mean, there is a station over here where they can come by and grab fuel, kind of right where my arrow was when they, are running on empty. And they'll just fuel up if they get low. And so far I've been lucky. Hasn't been, way over there. Oh, you know what? Here's a time. I don't know if you can see that at 14.5. I wonder if this is the time. That's either round trip or it's how many minutes it's going to take him to get over there. And I don't know. Yeah, what's the clock? 5:05. Maybe we can try to keep an eye on that. Yeah, and it probably changes. It's dynamic depending on how fast or slow he's driving. So, Anyway, it's something else. It's a big map, suffice it to say. But over the past days, what I've been working on is, and I'm trying to remember where it was last time, we were planting, and maybe it was field number 27. I don't remember for sure. And so finished planting canola, and then came 24, 25, and 29, and 38. Threw down some wheat, got those planted. Had to wait a little while. And of course, during this time, I think I hauled all the soybeans to market. Ah, there's our auto drive coming up along here, just marching right along. So we can kind of see, where his route is while we're looking at the map. And then when the timing was appropriate, I put in corn up here on these three pieces. And maybe I expressed this last time. I'm pretty minimalist in when I do this, and I know a lot of times these large maps are designed more for multiplayer type play versus the way I would do it, which is just single player. I don't do a lot of multiplayer play anymore. Um, it's just so hard to coordinate, and when I have time to do it, it may not necessarily coincide with someone else's time to do it. So I'll tackle a big map. I don't care. And but I'm still pretty minimalist. I look at a farm like this and say, what would a farm about this size in real life, would they really have, an entire fleet of combines, tractors, trucks, whatever? And I'm not sure they would. I mean, in real life, that stuff is expensive. We don't make anything near that on the farm in real life to be able to support a massive contingent of equipment. So I really don't have all that much. Look what I have, a couple smaller tractors and a big one. That's really all I have. And this one is primarily for baling if I do any of that. This one here handles pretty much all the other small tractor work that I would do, mainly offloading the combine. I have a big bud in here, and I know I've said it before. If ever a map was designed for the big bud, this one would be it. Just two tractor trailer units, if you will, to haul grain. One combine, 9240, used, and then we have a spray buggy, if you will. What is that thing called? I can't even zoom in. It has a name. Yeah, I don't remember it offhand. That I think is used in Canadian regions. Got the big old tires going, so I really got to be careful. It will apply both granular fertilizer as well as do the spraying. So, but those big tires, one thing that troubles me on the realism is I'll take those big tires out. They'll smash everything like crazy. But of course, when you use course play, it no longer flattens the ground under it. So it's kind of a cheat, if you will. What I really need to do, and now that I have the money, I probably could, is get a bona fide spray unit that has the narrow tires and then not worry about the realism on that. And a good old farm pickup for a utility trailer. This thing here I do my soil samples with. That's really all the motive power that I have, I think. A couple trailers. And really, I would have different trailers than these, however you say those, cramp. It's just that these seem to work better. I'd like to use some belly dump, but I haven't been able to figure out how to get them to cooperate with auto drive as well as I would like, to empty the trailers out. So I've kind of just used these. These seem to work with it. I think I have 3 of these. One for seed, one for fertilizer, one for lime. Yeah, this is for offloading the tractor. There's my headers. Have something to plow with, something to cultivate with, and something to plant with. Yeah, and there's the equipment. Oh, Terrigator. That's what that's called. Terrigator. And a baler and bale pusher. windrower. Huh, even a lowly chainsaw. Not sure I've used it before, though. A couple trailers to haul bales. And a tanker, I think, to hold spray. But I don't hardly use it anymore. I don't know if it's some mods in here. I just don't seem to use that much spray. And this is a repair trailer for stuff in the field. And there's a soil sample unit. Rock picker, I think that's to spread salt in the winter. There's my trailer on several pallets for servicing. You know, to keep for upkeep and maintenance on my equipment. Yeah, now it's getting into buildings or whatever that are embedded in the map. You know, that really aren't mine, but, you know, are there included in the equipment list. So anyway, I'll knock it off with this. We're finally coming up. The pool silo is clear up here. You know, this is 7 minutes now. From when we last looked, he's, you know, taking his load up here. I think we're being closely followed by another one. Maybe I put up the little map. Oh yeah, we got the next guy coming down here. Spaced out just enough to do the hauling. And like I say, there's a tremendous amount, you know, that still needs to be hauled. 400 some tons, as I recall. 413 tons of dry corn. So this kind of thing, I am just content and happy to let auto drive do its thing, and it's going to haul it, it'll take it away, and it'll dump it here, and the cash will go up, and we are not hurting for cash at all. So he's now made it over here, 513. You know, it's probably a little longer than 15. Oh, I can't. He should pull a little bit further forward. It's wherever he hits the triggers. But oh well, it's getting the job done. We're getting money. So maybe the trigger hangs out the door a little bit. I really don't know. But 513 from 505. Maybe it was a 504 when we left. So it could be, you know, with the time spent dumping and everything, it may be close to 20 minutes round trip to haul this stuff to market. And that's just from here over to here. Of course, it's got to loop around a little bit. The other places you would haul product are down over here. One is here, I believe, Pioneer Silo. Then there's one called Canuck Silo. Got to remember, this is a Canadian map. So this one here, I think, must be for roots, for potatoes and sugar beets, BC Ranch. So those are a ways away from the farm, too. It's probably even, well, it's hard to say. They might be an almost equal distance, because he's got to come out here a ways to get over. I just try to monitor the prices and send it to the best one I can. But at least our farm is here. You know, we could be stuck way up here. And if we're coming down here, that's quite a bit of trucking. But, anywho, they're in the middle of making money for us. And actually, what I was thinking of, well, kind of like I mentioned, I've been doing planting. Planting is done. But what isn't done, and I just fertilized it. I think I've done, let me see here, make sure I did all my fertilizing. Yeah, so fertilization is done on the entire farm. But what is still open to do, and let me see if it's showing up. Oh yeah, it's showing up a little bit. Is there's some weeds coming. And I must not have my weeds very aggressive. There doesn't seem to be too many. But just to have one more thing to do, I think I will try to take care of them in the field. So I'm going to go get my sprayer going while the crop isn't high and see if it can be taken care of. Actually, you know what Nick said? Something I'm not sure of, and I'm just going to go there real quick, just do a quick teleport. You know, I just planted this and fertilized it. And I almost think it's not going to let me spray over the top of something that's just been fertilized. If you happen to know the answer on that, I could put it in the comments. I'd appreciate it. But I'm not sure it'll let you do both fertilizer and spray operations at the same time. So I may have to just wait until tomorrow, in game tomorrow, to take care of that part. So, all right, this is a truck I was on, or maybe it's the other one. What I'd like to do, see, it's getting close to harvest season, and right now these trucks are occupied. I really need them to haul in the grain, but right now they're hauling grain to market, so I kind of think what I'd need is another truck. So I'm gonna get one. And in the past, I think I did it on the cheap with one of these smaller mods, or maybe it's this one here. Yeah, Peterbilt 379 day cab. Probably can't pick one up for 24 and a half unless it's a complete bucket of bolts. So yeah, those are mods. So when you have a mod, you can tweak the price. I wonder if I should, now that I have the money and don't care so much, with 5.2 million in the bank, I can afford a different truck. So let me see here. Lizard, Warrior. I'll just get the first one in line. Why not? So I'm going to grab that. Black is fine for the color. I want to get it new. And Universal Passenger. I don't even know why I got this mod, seeing as how it isn't multiplayer. I'm going to buy it. Now I'm going to get a trailer for it. I've been having decent luck, kind of like I mentioned, with these crampy trailers. Oh, except those aren't. Where are they? Yeah, what I'd really like is to try, try one that's a belly dump style, but I have before, like these here, and because there's two of them, I don't know that it entirely works with auto drive. So at least with my style of play, like right now, we're still on this truck, that's going to and from the farm to the sell point. I count on it to do this loop continuously until they're done. And if I have to babysit it, yeah, I don't play that way. So I think I'll just get another crampy. Well, I was on it. Here we go. Oh, there it is. So let me grab it. Standard, well, what's the setup? Wide tires. I don't know what difference a lot of this makes. It's brand new. Yeah, kind of in the early days, we saved some money by buying used. That's kind of a helpful mod to have. But I think we'll just buy new because we can. So I believe that's all I need. I'm going to hop out and we will tab over to it. And I have auto drive the route all set up all the way to the store, and I'll show you in a moment the perspective for where the store is. If this is our farm over here, the store is way down over here in town. So it's going to take a little while for it to get out there. And I'm kind of curious if actually, I want to use it field number 50. I'm kind of curious if I can tell it to go to field number 50. Actually, field number 50, load. Kind of curious to see where it goes, because I don't have a route in here. But sometimes, some of these modders are just amazing at what they do to where it misses that light pole. See, it's going right to the light pole, but it's probably going to, there it goes. It just goes right around it. It knows that it's a hard object, and it chooses to go around it. That's pretty cool. So it should have a route, assuming I've set my arrows up and get out to the field, hopefully without any major difficulty. Headed along the road here. So it's, yeah, it's going to take a little while. But at least these go fast. You know, when you buy a new combine or tractor, it obviously takes quite a bit longer to get it back to home base. But we're good. Now, to also prepare for harvest, nope, they're still hauling out the corn. This is probably just the second load. This entire time we've been going on here, this is just a half-hour video, these guys won't have even dumped a couple loads of corn. Oh, I don't know why I farm the big ones. Alright, so we gotta wake this tractor up. He's full of fuel. I don't think he's got anything on him. And now I gotta remember, where did I park? Where did I park the trailer that he's gonna use? Is it here? Aha, there it is. Try to put everything away in the winter. Now is the trailer, looks like it's all repaired. So, you know, I could send him out to the field with auto drive, but I think I'll just do it manually, seeing how I have nothing else to do at the moment. And it'll maybe give some idea of the scope of this. You know, it's a pretty large barnyard, whatever you call it. I'm so used to calling it a barnyard, but if there aren't animals there, I'm not sure it's a barnyard technically. So many maple trees. And if you're looking for tons of detail in a map, this one probably isn't it. But I'll tell you, if you ever travel to Canada in the region this is representing, you're not going to see a lot of detail there either. It just kind of is what it is, you know, a massive open prairie built by God for agriculture. And that's kind of represented in this map. So I might try to just start harvest here because I know, you know, I just finished planting, but the canola here is already ready. And I have the combine over here all prepped and ready to go. Actually, let me make sure I'm out of the way of the truck when it comes in. Okay, good. See, the truck that we have coming from the store, there it is down there, our little warrior. Yeah, he isn't even off the main highway yet. He'll be turning up the main drag. Hopefully not interfering with the load of dry corn. So he's probably about halfway. But eventually coming up here to where we are in field 50, he's going to end up roughly up here. When he does, I'm going to set up a course play, or will attempt to do so, with this tractor that basically goes in and out of the field and offloads. And then this guy and the combine will be going in the field, and hopefully it all works seamlessly, and auto drive carries the grain back to the farm into storage, and this all works like clockwork. And anybody that's used course play before knows that there can be a fair amount of babysitting of it to make sure that it's working properly. But I gotta say, it's a brilliant mod, and especially in the later versions of it, it really is amazing the work that the modders put into it. You know, if you've ever opened it, it's a whole bunch of code, and it really works well for what it does. I have another mod that I think I can point at this combine and it'll jump me in, which it does. And I already took a small bite out of this field, but it's full of canola. And I think what I want to do at the moment to get ready is to start up a course. Grab field 50. It's kind of an interesting shaped field. I think 3 headland passes is what I've done before. So it's going to, in real life, we probably wouldn't cut it this way. But it'll go 3 times around the whole thing. So some suspension of reality will be needed as our tractor is going to be driving over canola and everything. But anyway, I think this is what I wanted to do. Clockwise, I think that's a proper width. Let's generate the course. And we'll see if we can get a move on the harvest. Saved by the bell. Okay, that is quite a pattern. But I think, yeah, I've seen that pattern before. So this is kind of what it's going to do. It looks like it's covering. This is what I mean. I mean, the mod is pretty genius in this regard. It covers every square inch. Maybe it isn't exactly how I would cut it if we were doing this in real life, but it's going to get the job done. So I don't really have time, I guess, to get started on the harvest. So what I'm going to do is I'll just call the episode here and wish you all a good night. And maybe I can fire up another one and we can get going on the harvest here in this beautiful map. So thank you so much for coming along and seeing a little bit about Peace River. And I certainly want to wish all of you peace in a very troubled world, if nothing else. Take care until the next time. Goodbye for now.